That is going to melt.
It's not going to melt.
Right, everybody, welcome back to another match preview. This one is for Sunderland versus Millwall, Stadium Light on a Saturday. Right, if you want to get involved with the score predictions, comment what you think the score's going to be. We'll mention your next match preview. People who got it right, shout outs at the end. Right, Stephen.
Well, no one got it right, so there'll be no shout-outs at the end.
No, there'll not.
There'll be no shout-outs at the end, because none of you's got it right.
No one got it right, believe it or not.
None of you's got it right.
Just think of it, and also I'd like to point out the dedication where you show and bringing you this match preview in this terrible, terrible torrential downpour. But anyway, Stephen, moving on to Millwall. They've won 3, lost 4, drew 1. They're sitting 14th. They've got played 8 games, got 10 points. They've conceded 11 goals though. But you were saying earlier,
basically, I was looking at who they've played so far this season, and they've had a really hard or really tough start of the season. Nearly everyone they've played is teams you'd expect to be in and around the promotion battle at the end of the season. So yes, they may have lost 4 games. I mean, essentially they're only 1 point behind us, or one. We've drew 1 more and they've lost 1 or something. Right. But they've played some tough teams who will be up and around there. So yes, they're below us in the table and they've lost 4 games. But like I say, I wouldn't take that as. I'm not going to take them too lightly for this Saturday, because I think they're still a very good, it's still a very decent team with that can do a lot of threats.
No, well, exactly. I totally agree with you. In the last game, they beat Cardiff 2-0 at home. They controlled that game early on. Did they get us wrong? Cardiff could have easily been 1-0 up, but they didn't take the chances, and then they scored that Creswell, the defender.
Well, Charlie Creswell, we were linked with him in the summer from Leeds. He's on loan at Millwall now, but he's their top goal scorer with 3 and 1 assist, and he's a centre half. They've also got Benoe Afobe. He hasn't had a lightning start of the season, but he is a decent player.
How did you just say that?
Afobe?
Benoe Afobe?
Right, Afobe.
He used to
I'll pull you up every time you mispronounce the name.
Aye, you do.
Piss off.
Aye, you fucking.
And also, the one that they've got, which we all know very too well, and I loved him when he was at us, and that's George Honeyman.
Aye.
When we sold him, I wasn't happy because I thought he was a really good player. And when we played against him since, he's had decent games against us, and no doubt he'll do the same on Saturday.
All right, well, he's a championship player, him, really. He went up there with Hull. Did you see his dance he done though?
No.
Oh my God, I'll tag you in it later. He done a canny embarrassing dance
Stick it on here.
To a Queen song.
Stick it on here so you can see it.
I'll stick it on here so you can see it.
God knows! Woo! God knows!
Oh my God. But no, listen, he would have been at least a squad player for us. I probably think he would have been on the bench.
I reckon he'd been in the start 11.
He probably could have.
I reckon he'd be in the start 11. He's been in the start 11 everywhere he's been.
He grafted his arse off, like, didn't he, when he was wearing the shirt?
Non-stop. I mean, he was our captain.
Aye.
And yes, he was our captain when we got relegated. Or was it the first season in the League One?
In the Championship League One, aye.
He was a captain, right? And he worked. His work rate was phenomenal. And
aye.
He was always looking to create things. I mean, obviously, as we know, Sunderland fans are a mixed badge. Half of them lunatics and half of them no football. But I mean, but we're not going to dwell on that because we've said our bit about the lunacy of some of the comments and that we've seen.
I know that.
But not. I think on Saturday it's going to be a tough game.
Definitely,
it's going to be a tough game, and obviously we're going to get on to us in a minute. But the main thing I'm looking to on Saturday is it'll be interesting to see how we form up for this game.
Aye, well, moving straight on to Sunderland. Do you want to give your score prediction now, or we're going to do it after we talk about Sunderland? I'll tell you what, we'll give it now because people like to watch it. And I know what he's going to say, and I know you know what he's going to say. Stephen, what's your score prediction?
You just said you're going first.
No, you can go first.
I went first last time.
Right, you then. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. That's my score prediction. I'll not be happy with a draw. I want the 3 points, but Millwall, I think they've turned it around a little bit now. Stephen, what do you reckon?
I'm going to go 2-0.
2?
To Sunderland.
Eh?
I'm going 2-0 Sunderland.
Oh, you just done it because I had that little song and dance. Now he's changed his mind.
I'm going 2-0 Sunderland.
Oh, well, I hope you're right. To be honest, I hope you're right. But like I was saying, they did have a hard start.
And I think Millwall's going to get a red card.
Do you reckon?
I do, yes.
Oh, but that's a bit off.
Just because they're fucking crazy, innit?
Well, hey, listen. Like I said, they've had hard teams to come up against. Would you class us as a hard team? Aye, probably I would.
Wait,
we've been teams are finding it hard to beat us.
Well, they are. Let's be honest. We've only had one bad game this season, and you're looking to remember that we've had one bad game.
But like full 90 minutes.
So we are an organised team. You know what I mean? We've got good players, and I think it's going to be a decent game. To be fair, I'm hoping that, obviously, with the week we've had now since the Borough game, we'll be more organised and we'll have more of a plan. Whether that Sims up top on his own with more support behind him, or somebody else up front with him. Like I'd like to see, like I think a few people have said it. I'd like to see Ahmad up front with him because he's fast as shit.
Aye.
He really is.
Well, do you know what? You make a perfect point there. They've had plenty of time now. Well, I wouldn't say plenty of time. They've only had less, like, since Wednesday, really.
Well, it shouldn't take them to adapt that
No,
long, you know what I mean?
shouldn't.
If they've had Tuesday, the game was on Monday.
Well, it was.
Was I? So they've had Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
I'm thinking Wednesday.
And you've got to remember, the professionals. So they should be able to adapt to different tactics, different players, you know what I mean?
Do you know what? I'm assuming with the new manager, he'll not have just worked on one formation regardless. And anyway,
Yeah, not after Monday, he won't have.
Yeah, well, he definitely 100%.
Definitely not after Monday.
Definitely not. No, but like I say, we're going to have to go with one, or like you say, somebody up top with them. I prefer two up top. It just so some get bodies close to Sims, because like we both said in videos, he works better when he's got a partner to work with.
He's good at holding up and he's good at laying off.
He is, exactly.
You know what I mean? And we know he can actually hit the target. He has got 3 goals this season.
He's not the fastest striker. He's not like Stewart, you know what I mean? But like you say, if you work people around him, you see the best out of Sims. But like we'll talk about our lineup. Is there any others you'd like to change or bring in?
Right. It's a difficult one, this one, because we said in our previous videos now that we think they're going to have to change the formation. I mean, he might not change the formation.
No.
He might keep it the same way as and just put the Ahmad or Jacques or Roberts up front with Sims. And then, but like we've said before, I think Wright will come in for Cirkin, and then O'Neill will go onto the left side of the back three.
Aye.
If they keep it that formation. Me personally, I'd like to see Diallo up front, or Ahmad, whatever he wants to be known as, up front with Sims. And we've got to see what happens. I mean, the midfield, it's a difficult one as well, because I mean, everyone was pretty poor on Monday night, when they're I mean, Evans wasn't great, Dan Neil wasn't great. He was huffing and puffing, but he wasn't really doing out.
No.
I don't know if he'll change it. But we've got young'uns there now who do need to get an opportunity at some point to see what they can do. Otherwise, there's no point in bringing them in.
Well, exactly what you said, right? I personally would bring Bailey Wright in, but other people have been saying you've got Elise here. He can play.
Yes, well, I said that as well, didn't I, the other day?
You said it the other day. He can play left back as well. But like you say, if they're going to change formation, then they could bring Elise in. But personally, I think they might even just put O'Neill out there, because he can play. He's played there last season before.
O'Nine's played everywhere, man.
Everywhere.
O'Nine's a machine.
He is. He's played
He's
everywhere.
A machine.
So personally, you could leave the same formation, bring Wright in, or you could bring Elise in. He plays obviously centre back and left back, and then you see if you gamble one up top. But for me personally, I'd do exactly what you said. Put Ahmad up top with
Sims.
Because
even when he came on Monday, he showed lively sparks, didn't he? Mm-hmm. And he showed some pace.
He did,
And he was a bit too clever for Sims in a way, when he did that layoff behind him instead of being selfish and having a shot himself. But hey, that like I said, that game's been and gone. Look forward to a Saturday. Like I say, it's going to be interesting to see how we do line up, and what they've been working on throughout the week. But like I say, I'm still confident that we're going to go in there and get the win, because their defence is still quite leaky. And I know our attack isn't as deadly without Roscoe, but you never know.
That's the thing, though. We both said exactly the same thing about Middlesbrough. They'd conceded exactly the same amount of goals as Millwall, 11. And then what happens? They went and kept a clean sheet. But there was circumstances about that. Yeah,
we've had a week of preparing for this game now. Not just shy of a week. Preparing for this game. And like I say, we've got wingers and midfielders that like to go forward. We've got Sims who knows what he's doing up there. And now we're going to have a young, hungry player up front with him. So got to see how we can. And like I say, I'm still optimistic that we're going to go and get something out of this game, because obviously we're still going to have nigh on 40,000 people in there acting as the 12th man, and we're going to be up for it. We're going to be roaring the team on.
I definitely will need us. Like you said, there's going to be a few hungry bodies like on the bench. There's been a lot of people asking for Max Thomas to come get promoted. My thing personally for that, maybe too soon for him.
I agree there.
Early in his development, it could be too soon for that. And I wouldn't want him to get tossed in the deep end and be out of his depth. But I didn't think he would. It just
came out this morning that
he's done well.
Ross Stewart's been nominated for the Player of the Month, the AFL Player of the Month, and also, what's he called?
Max Thomas.
Max Thomas, or Thompson?
Thompson.
Max Thompson. He's been nominated for the Premier League 2 Player of the Month, because he's got 5 goals and 1 assist so far this season.
He got 5 goals in 2 games and all, you know.
Mate, there you can. You know what I mean? But let's say he is young. Will it be a bit too much? But we're saying he's still young. Look at them 4 signings we've just made.
Right.
Not one of them's over 20 or 21. You know what I mean? So we've got to do something. We've got 2 actual strikers. But we've got other ones that can play there, and we've got ones in the under-23s. It's now Mowbray's job and his staff to see what they're going to do, analyse the situation, and think, right, this is what we're going to do, this is the plan, this is how we're going to work it.
Briefly, would you still dip your toe into the free transfer market?
No.
Fraser Campbell's available.
No, he can stay available.
I personally would. I would bring one more body in. I know it's 6 weeks for Stewart. He didn't get us right. He could back even earlier. But what if something happens to Sims? Touch wood, it doesn't. But off the off chance it does, I still would like one more extra body in there. Even if he is just a bench warmer, it doesn't bother me at all.
Well, the minute he wouldn't be a bench warmer.
Right,
but not
exactly.
look. The problem thing is, I mean, I've seen people mention Vidra. I mean, he used to be. He's got a kind of goal scoring record for like a few years ago and all that. Fraser Campbell didn't. We liked him when he played for us because he worked well with Ben, but he still didn't score many goals when he was in his prime. You know what I mean? So
true.
There's a reason why these players are free. You know what I mean? That's what you've got. That's what you've got to realise. And as a professional footballer, you are able to play in several positions. You've got your preferred position in the one where you specialise in, but wingers, for example, can play as strikers.
Just look at Richarlison last night. He can play on the left, the right, and as a number 9.
Exactly.
Right? And he scored 2 goals.
Both cracking headers.
Right, so we've got versatility. We can just look at Luke 09 for that. It's a perfect example.
Right, definitely, aye.
Midfield
and you've also got, and I said it on a previous video, not like a few days ago. It might have been the live stream actually. Middlesbrough and all the other teams, they'll know how. Obviously, they say right, they've got Sims and Stewart up front. Right. This is how we're going to mark them. This is how we're going to deal with them. But now we've got a spanner in the works for them because we're going to have a young'un or someone up front. They're going to think, right, well, we don't know how this is going to work.
Right.
We know how Stewart and Sims are going to work together because that's how they've done it so far this season.
Right.
But now we've got Sims and somebody else, so now they're going to work differently. So the defence will find it hard to prepare for this game.
Oh, aye, definitely. You're right. With that, we've probably covered everything. We'll be live. We'll not be live, sorry, talking out my arse, I'll start that a bit again. Where we will be at the statue early, like we always are. Come out and if you want to get on the channel.
But I will say now, I haven't discussed this with him yet, but if it's absolutely yarking it down like it has been the last couple of days, we'll not be there for long.
No, definitely, no, you're right. You're definitely not, especially like it was about 10 minutes ago.
Exactly, aye. So if it's absolutely lashing down, we'll be there for a short time. But
we have to swim to the car.
And then if it is lashing it down, we'll be inside the stadium, we'll be just speaking to people under a roof.
Aye, definitely.
All right, but anyway,
definitely.
See you on Saturday.
All right, see you in a bit, everyone.